Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Back on the live stream again, the live stream train again after disastrous life last time. Um, anyways, I like doing like movie reviews live and stuff, so I guess be aware. I can freeform it a lot better. And there was a movie called The Dirt that came out on Netflix. I didn't know it was on back in 2018, 2019. I know that long ago. And it's supposed to be like based on the best-selling memoir of Nikki Six from Motley Crue. And I wanted to see that. I wanted to say that movie's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I know my sister's ex. Well, I'm glad he's her ex now. Said it was bullshit. I was like, oh, whatever. And I forgot about the movie. Like that was like after all these years, I talked. Hey, Shiny Mac, how you doing, brother? After all these years, I thought, I want to see the movie. I know. I just forgot about it. He said, "Well, that movie's all bullshit." So I forgot about the movie. I want to see it. I remember talking to Forensic about it. She said, "Definitely watch that movie." She was surprised I hadn't seen it. And it's about the life and times of Motley Crue, based upon the memoir that Nikki Six did. Now, that was a bizarre time in the '80s where hair metal became a thing. You know, and let me give you my personal history of Motley Crue, and I'll go back and talk about the movie. Um, like I said, this came about, perfect time with MTV and stuff. And we didn't have MTV. Cable didn't come out to where we were at in the country, so we just had like the regular antennas, like that giant antenna that hooked on the chimney and stuff. And then we had like alligator clips on it, but it worked pretty good for the most part. And I was fascinated. Yeah, pretty good, brother. Oh, yeah, I'm doing okay. And music video was like a big deal. Whenever I go down to my aunts or uncles and stuff like that, I remember we just watch MTV. It'd be on all day. I'll never forget, like they have like things censored sometimes, right? That Van Halen video "Hot for Teacher." They say we got a bad, got a bad, got a bad, because they cover up their lips, ears, eyes, and then at the end they got bad, they cover up their crotch, right? They cover their crotch, but if they showed it early in the day, they blur that part out, and then later on they would show it later on at night. Anyways, we didn't have MTV. I always wanted to see these music videos, and then other stations started to catch on to that, and it was like a low budget, syndicated um music video show, like at 1 in the morning, I think, called Rock and Roll America, and that ran for like 3 years. And it had like the first year was Rick Ducommun hosted as a comedian. And then the second, third year there was like this black and white guy that was hosted going back and forth. Face. I can't remember what I think his name was. No, his name was Magic, and the other guy's name was Face, I think. And they would show like music videos like well, then they showed the very first Motley Crue video I ever saw on Live Wire, right? And they would show stuff like, I know, I read about like that Ramones music video, Psychotherapy, being banned from MTV. And they said, well, at least if you live in Johnny Ramone's house, you'll probably be able to see it. If not, you probably won't, because they covered it in Fangoria magazine. And then on Rock and Roll America, they showed it. I was taping, I missed it, right? I went upstairs and it was playing. I was like, oh, crap. My dad said that was the dumbest video he ever seen. And I saw it the next day. I was excited to see it. But I mean, uncut. I mean, the gore effects were dry in the movie though, and they'd have other stuff like they have like Steve Ray Vaughan stuff on there, Helix, Heavy Metal Love, and just a variety of stuff on there. And then of course on NBC they'd have Friday night videos, and that was a big deal right there. So we used to watch that too. Anyways, going back to the Motley Crue. The very first time I ever heard of them was it was in like we had environmental science in the fifth grade. That's better. Yeah, environmental science in ninth grade. I remember I sat in the back, and there was one guy. I think he had a signed seat because he was a troublemaker. Sitting in the front, his name was Chris Miller. I think his name was, not to be confused with Dennis Miller, someone that's a comedian. And he wore this shirt, and it said Motley Crue on it, and then I couldn't really make out that well because I was in the back, and he had like four pictures, and there'd be these people with long hair and makeup on. I thought they were girls. I couldn't tell. This was before like the hair metal thing. This is right around where the hair metal thing took off. Right. I don't want to say glam metal because their songs are pretty. Some of the songs they do it pretty heavy. And like I said, he must have known about them like a week before, like a year before they became huge. And then from that, I saw that live wire video from Rock in America, even though that show won't win any award or anything like that. It's kind of a cheap syndicate show. And then a year later, I think it was Too Fast for Love. I think a year later they came out with Shout at the Devil, which is a personal favorite of mine. I remember my friend Marshall let me borrow it along with something from K-Tail Heavy Metal Hits, I think. And what I did was I made a recording of it, but I was like tape recorder. That's what we had, That's how I recorded it. And I like Shout at the Devil. That's a great album. I never bought that Too Fast for Love, but I remember listening to that album and really enjoying it. I've listened to it multiple times. I think it's their best album, or close to it. From that, they came out with. I was a big fan, and then they showed like just some of the music videos on MTV, like "Looks to Kill." And there were some videos that Kiss did, where in futuristic times, it remind me of. Maybe I would look it up, but it remind me of "Looks to Kill." They kind of did like something similar on that front. And that was that. I was a big fan of the album. I liked every song on that album. Yeah, I listened to it. I made a copy for a cassette on that. And then next was the Theater of Pain, and I was really disappointed with that album. And Vince Neil was saying that manager in the movie, The Dirt, he said like they only had like two good songs on, the rest is all filler. I don't know. I just wasn't too happy with that album. I remember guys were playing it on the bus. So I was like, I'm glad I didn't buy it. I was kind of like I fell off interest for Motley Crue after that. And then they had the album Girls, 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 which is actually quite good. I like the theme song for that. I heard it around, And then I remember going to the army, and in Germany, I think this is when I first got there, because I remember we had like a credit program where it's like it was kind of weird because they didn't offer this anywhere else. I guess it's something from the PX offered it for new soldiers, right? You could get like a loan. You're able to borrow money when you first go there. It's another country. I think you can borrow like, depending on your rank, you can either borrow $5,000 or $1,000, right? And then you had to make sure to go down to PX and pay it right when it's supposed to. I think I missed it by a day, and boy, they gave me hell for that, to make sure you pay it all the way, And because I was able to get a TV and a VCR. Because that was a big thing back then. Because we lived in the middle of nowhere, And the only TV station we had was the Armed Forces Network. That was it. I think there's one German channel you get faintly, but that wasn't like a big thing, But AFN was like all different channels. Pretty much the main one: ABC, CBS, NBC, and also Fox, because Fox became a major contributor with shows like Married with Children and Simpsons. Anyways, Girls, Girls, Girls came out, and I was in Germany, and I remember getting like the VCR. My friend knew I had a VCR, my one roommate, and he knocked on the door and said, "Hey, man, hey, my friend just got this. Do you want to watch it with us? Can we watch it with you guys?" It was like a 45-minute long Motley Crue videotape. It's like when they used to release videotapes like a Kiss Exposed. That was one. I can't remember the name of the Motley Crue one, but it was very entertaining, very funny. And then they had a couple of music videos in it too, which was cool. So I said, yeah, you bring anything you want. They said, yeah, thanks, man. You're welcome. So that was that. And then a while later in Germany, they released Dr. Feelgood, a great album, a wonderful album. That's definitely one of my all-time favorite albums. I love the song Dr. Feelgood. And then the theme song for Germany at the time was Kickstart My Heart, or they have like Loving It Elevator. That should be like a theme song there too. But I think that came first, and after that, Kickstart My Heart. That was like a big theme song. The guys went nuts when they heard that song, though. And that was a thing right there. And then after that, I'm trying to think. I kind of watched them off and on, and not that much. And all of a sudden, they got rid of their lead singer, right? And Vince got mad and he quit, And I guess they released this. Motley Crue released an album without Vince Neil singing. Some guy, Joe Jabronic or whatever his name was, and Joe Jabronic. Yeah, he kicked out that. He kicked out Vince Neil, and they had like a new singer. And I don't know. I didn't really care for the. I mean, I listened to like a video. I was like, I'm not like too big into it. But I remember going to this discount store, and he had those ones, the one with him on it, the new singer for like $1 cassette. So there's that. And then Vince Neil. I know Vince Neil did his own solo career. I remember the song "Mistress of Pain." No, "Sister of Pain." "Mistress of Pain" is Death Angel. "Sister of Pain" is Vince Neil, and that was a cool album. They had like I think CGI in it. I thought it was really nifty item. I really liked it a lot. And then, like I said, there's that thing I planted right there. You can take it off, and then pull it up and put it back in the house. Like I said, they had that music video, and then Vince Neil got back together with them, and they released a couple more albums. I never listened to any of this stuff. And they all correlate to that Lord of the Saint. What the hell was that name of that album? It's gonna drive me nuts until I find it. Well, let's see. Like your albums. God damn it! Right, your discography. Let's see what we got. Okay. For the life of me, I couldn't remember what it was called. Saints of Los Angeles. I got it. And I guess, I didn't listen to it. A lot of people said it was a bad album. I really didn't listen to anything else after Dr. Feelgood. I know Vince Neil's Sister of Pain video. I think I saw one music video from that one with a new singer. I don't think I heard anything else than any other Motley Crue stuff. I remember watching a documentary about the band. They talked about Vince Neil's daughter passing away from cancer, which was really sad. It was really sad in the movie too. I was crying. Yeah, it'd be terrible to have like outlive your kids and stuff. It'd be horrible. It's horrible what happened to her too. And I remember watching Larry King. That was so funny because the scene where he was playing along, he was hitting the drums. And it looked like he was out of breath. He was gonna drop down every minute. That was so funny. That was really funny. I know it wasn't intentionally funny though, but I did laugh. What else did Motley Crue do? I remember they did something on Hard and Heavy. I will say this. The movie came out called Police Academy 6. what is it? Police Academy 6 City Under Siege. That was the last of the big budget movie theater one before they did a horrible Mission to Moscow, which didn't even look like a Police Academy movie. But it was like the last major film they did, you know. Oh my god! I bet you they're gonna try to do a Police Academy remake. I have an idea. I have a feeling they're gonna do that. Didn't be scare anyone. Anyways, like the show was okay. I wasn't too big about. I mean, I liked the show. The movie itself, it goes like an hour 45 minutes. It goes by pretty fast, you know. But I mean, enough time to like look. Because they go to that tripper's haunted house. There's enough time to look at the decorations from the outside. You know, 'cause I got those last. No, I can see better. And I don't think anything else was happening though. And then I know Vince Neil, because watched, I shut it off for a little bit. My sister opened up, said, oh my god, there's Cajun stuff in this and coffee and stuff. I said, yeah. I said, well, your dad's pretty awesome. I said, yeah. Yeah, I said, you already asked for something? And she said, no, it's okay. I said, okay, I offered. Um, yeah, but I mean, that's just the way it is. I think they want their kid to, I don't know, get food poisoning or something like that. I don't know. My man's way too cold for a fish, in my opinion, you know. What a good dog. What's hotter than a suntan lotion? Not why it's bad. It's okay. No, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Oh, sorry, last time oh, thank you there, Brandon. But that was my history of Motley Crue. I mean, not a big history, but between like 83, 84, up to like after the release of that album, you know, and that was like I was there in my public eye. Now after that, not so much. Um, but the Dirt's a film on Netflix. I watched it. It starts off with Nikki Six because it's based off him, and they talked about like his upbringing, like his dad left and he had a whole bunch of very abusive stepfathers, right? And then his mother came and she's like, uh, get me, get me, get me. Instead, you know, kill, unalive yourself, me. You know what I mean? And it was pretty sad. And then when they showed the footage later on in the movie, I mean, it was sad. It was sad, you know. But it's a great movie. I really liked it a lot. You know, I could ask for a better movie. You know, I know like Mr. Time Trimer or Time Tram. You know, he complained about food in different places and stuff. What if you did as many videos that I had? Or maybe just extra like 2 or 3 a day. It seems like you do. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how well it was received in the aircraft or nothing. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the movie The Dirt is like a biopic based off Motley Crue. Like I said, Roland, my one sister X, thank God. X no more, you know. He was saying that movie is bogus, a lot of bullshit in the movie, but I still wanted to see it, and then I just kind of forgot about it. Anyways, on Netflix, you know, they started by him as a kid, and he's being abused by these stepfathers. That mom goes out on a date and brings home a guy, and then her and him get into a fight, and then he takes a knife. He slits his arm open. I couldn't believe it though. Hi, Brandon. It is raining a lot today. It's really raining a lot. Well, yesterday it got up in like the 90s, you know, 80s, 88, 89. Now it's right now it is it is 62 degrees with a high of 67, and it's gonna be cooling down a lot. Yeah, maybe like Sunday or Monday it'll go back in the 80s, but it can stay the way it is right now. No problem. Anyways, the kid stabbed himself in the arm, and then CPS two of the servants come over. Hi, Brandon. Hey, Charlie. And they said, like, the cop said, kid, you want to go through with this kid? She said, if she goes to jail, you'll be put in the foster home, system, and sometimes not that great. And then he decided to stay at his place, and I don't know if his dad was living there with him. That I don't know what happened. And waiting a lot here. Yeah, must be raining a lot. Basically, it talks about them forming the band, right? And it goes to the night of Nikki Six, like he and his mother were fighting. He said, "F you, mom, F you. You're not my mom. F you, F you, F, whatever." And she's like, "Son, you're my son. I love you." And you would have all these you would have all these dates beat the crap out of me all the time, you know. And I don't know if they had to throw it in jail or like not. We had to let her go or something. I don't know. And then it goes to like Mountain Day where like he was just partying and stuff, and then he wanted to form a band, and he was doing like this twirly stuff on his fingers, right? And he started forming a band, and he had like Nick Six and Tommy Lee Jones, and then like Nick Morris, and also Vince Neil was like the last one to get. They said we need a singer, right? And then they said like what some cover band type thing that that's some wedding or some pool party. And girls were all over. And it's like, why would I want to give this up? I'm trying to get more money. And then they started going on a tour circuit, creating like rowdy behavior problems and stuff that will get you kicked out today. And what I say? And that was it on that. I didn't listen to much of them after that. I remember like watch them on the news, the news story about them. I might put some of that seasoning, that Cajun wing seasoning on some fries because it does require some seasoning. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I mean, I'd like to try some more stuff from there, so I'm not going to give it a low score. I mean, unless it sucked, that would get a low score. And I remember watching a documentary about Motley Crue, and they talked about the daughter, Vince Neil's daughter passed away whenever he went to do his solo career because she had cancer, you know, and that's touched upon in the movie too, which is very sad. I cried too. I mean, I watched the behind the scenes story with Vince Neil telling the story. That was sad enough watching it. Um, And it goes back to like, getting like a manager and all these other people. They were real rowdy, starting to ring it in a little bit, and then they signed with Elektra. And the guy in charge of Elektra that was meeting with them, like a talent scout, was none other than Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live. Saying about right there, I actually don't hang my watch. Oh, really? Wow. Well, that's a good thing then. And they're trying to get the band, all these band members back, you know. And it goes through like getting signed from Elektra Records, getting like their first dig, which was Shout at the Devil, not the that Too Fast for Love one. That was a different label, I think. Um, and then they had like the scene I said, like with the girl in the hospital, and that was really sad. I was crying and stuff. And aside from that, they had really good hamburgers on there. It was kind of like two pieces of bread, toast with cheese in the middle on top of everything, right? And I remember getting a chicken and looking at John and said, "Boy, this is damn good. I mean, this is really, really good." I was like, "Okay." I said no. Um, but no, it was definitely interesting. What else happened? Well, like I said, they came back and they reunited, and then they were on the Tonight Show. I'll never forget this. Um, this deal they were doing girls, 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 I guess, and they said they said, "Yeah, have a good effing New Year, Vince or whatever," And then he got in trouble for that, which is kind of funny. I mean, it went completely dark in that theater for a while. I don't know what happened. I don't know. It's kind of trippy. I give it a, I give the soup from Cup Noodles. I give it like a 9.25 out of 10. You know, on point. Okay, good. I can't cry during sad movies. Yeah. Oh, I don't. I don't. I feel bad back. And I just have to kind of deal with it. I can't. At work. It's very painful. Oh wow. And it was weird because the characters they had play the people in the movie didn't look like them at all. The song sounded very familiar though, and they go through like the pace of getting signed their first big gig. There was a fight on stage between them and the concert goer. They're afraid that something was going to happen to Happy Gilmore. Even though he's completely in the fine, he's a nice guy, he's not all washed up. He's none of that stuff. Um, so here's their daughter. Oh, cool. And the guy said he had a really good. And they talk about you know Nick Mars having this injury and stuff. When he had when he was a kid. It was like a degenerative bone fragments in the one part of the neck. It is kind of scary, especially when you're. It's, and it goes back to whenever they fired Vince McNeil, and then he said when he quit, it's like it's semantics. I'm gonna buy that cassette for for $1 or $1.25. And I did make music videos for the whole like hour long special. And the first one is the Blue Oyster called Openness, Uneducated Trifectas, Trifectas, you know. So I guess that's it, everybody. I see what's going on. They probably switch your food around somewhat. I would love to go check it at the rally sometime. Just check out the fries, man. Or if I got a meatball pizza, I would want to get with the holes in it. didn't have holes in it. Did not have holes in it. All right. Thank you, man. Catch you later, buddy. Catch you later, buddy. Boy, it's raining. Damn, it's coming down hard. I don't think you probably can't hear it in there, but it's coming down hard. Um, yeah, it starts off with them forming the band, and they're trying to think of a name for the band. And then one of them said there used to be like some religious band, so they wrote down Xmas with an X, and then like a Christmas right next to it. And then I know a lot of people weren't happy with that. They called out the station, complaining blasphemy, and all this other stuff. Um, so they had that video. I thought it was really good. I thought it was funny. The part with like the cat's there, and he somehow he turned around, and there was like a little toilet filled with poop. I think of him when I think of that. Sorry, but no, I do. Um, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it was expensive, and there was a Trader Joe's right next to it. So I mean, I got my money's worth. Um, but no, I thought the dirt was quite good. I liked one thing I liked was stay tuned through the ending credits. Right, there's scenes of like back to back comparison scenes of like something they did or something they posed to, and a real picture from the movie or the making of the movie, which is really cool. And no, I really like the movie. I think it's quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. It's pretty intense. Oh, I better go back and get that thing before it gets ruined. Be ashamed to ruin that just because it got too hot. Oh, I can't think. Um, but no, I like the movie really well. It moved really quick. And Davidson, oh man, it's not time. But yeah. So I don't know where she's at. She wasn't here. And they go after like they cover the daughter passing away, and that was really sad. That was a sad part. I knew that was coming. It's kind of hard to forget that. And then it's like, ugh, it'd be terrible to go like that. Like, oh man, tell me you didn't see it. You know. I had the canopy of his butt. Uh, it talks about like the incident with Ozzy Osbourne. It was just weird seeing the Ozzy Osbourne part. A few days after he passed away. And just a few days, like I said, since he passed, and it was pretty good. It's just like those photos from Loch Ness, little teeny tiny photos. He said that could be anywhere. You know. And I like to start talking to people who are all in it. You know, that's all. I try to be nice, as nice as. And the solo career took off after that, and then he had the solo career just play the other things, not just this. And like I said, the whole year, Paramount. Like mourning the loss of people in the cemetery. The one game says, "Yeah, my dad's made beats up with him, lost this one thing. Yeah, my parent just left rings all over the Pope." Yeah. Um, I remember like when a kid, you get like, it's probably your message. Um, and I thought this was quite good. Also directed cats. Uh, And then they show like the band members on there, and like they have like like the real cast members. They show the other stuff, and it kind of reminds me of I'm up, I'm up, and that's what happened. The music videos, it played like a music video. I mean, the actors that played the characters don't really look anything like them at all. And the one main guy, Rocky Johnson, and the boxer, he get a lot of fights and stuff. And Jimmy Hart looked at it. He drove like this putt that went like about like 200, 300 feet. And so we were collecting that. It was a very informative DVD. And a lot of times, War did not like some of their stuff. Like they hated that a low budget thing called Sleazy Martinez. That was cut up for good. I'm trying to think. Um, Basically, like I think my sister had to go get something. She's going to be watching TV, and I told her a TV show plus the Legion thing JB did plus when he was up here talking to my sister, and I had to take off. You hoser, you know. But it was all right. I thought it was good. Um, yeah, this one woman is so fat. How fat was she? She's so fat every time she wears she's so fat. Every time she wears high heels, she's enunciating it worse and worse every day. Well, maybe I don't know. It's my life to live though, you know. Yeah, well, yeah. Um, but the movies are quite good. And like you said, the part where they were in the hospital, he had like a wife and kid. He was kicked out of the band, right? In real life, and then they had like they start selling the Motley Crue with a new one, like a big rack of $1 cassettes. I could have bought one, but I didn't feel like it, you know. But I have my John was the one that taught me about bowling bag rice too. The little thing standing up in there. And then I've been doing a couple reviews uh of what I'm doing here. Some people aren't happy. But I mean, I do a few guys too. It's important, I think. You should know all the bells and whistles because kids just run out to play with it. But I think they need a little more. Um, just watch out for them a little bit more. You know, and a lot of that kid from that pizza place was fantastic. I still got more videos to upload. I haven't done anything now. Um, yeah, be good. Yeah, be awesome. Um, I thought it was really good, and I thought it was very informative. It was like an hour and 47 minutes, and moved at a very brisk pace. The stuff like I said with him being addicted to heroin, and then also with the little girl dying, that was really depressing. But aside from that, it's a very uplifting movie, and for anyone going through whatever they're going through. And I like the movie a lot. I feel like I give it 8 out of 10. And there's like a trailer for it. I just looked at it, and I can't make out if it's Art the Clown or not. I just can't make it out. You know, by now you let me look at it. And then they were around doing a whole bunch of movies, including that Prince of Los Angeles or whatever it was. But by that time, I stopped listening about the crew altogether. I listened to old stuff. I listened to Shot at the Devil. And it wasn't because of you guys recording. I appreciate you guys recording it. But it was interesting. It was interesting live stream to say the least. Um, there you go, everybody. Let's see. Reach for Madness. Wait a second. Let's see. What do they say about Dolly? The longer you can be Prince, pretty, they dirty. I'm sure they're probably okay. They're pretty, sorry, time, like, yeah. I'm sure they're probably just getting ready or something like that. They're ready right now. I'm not going over there at all. Hell with that. I want to do a live review of the mole, of the dirt. I almost said the mole. Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite entertaining if you like rock and roll. It's very. I mean, the biggest part was I didn't think like Vince Neil or that other guy, not Ringo. What the Ford that played the band? It was like Gerald Ford. There's other people. Yeah, that'd be good. Good for you. But like I said, I don't have a song. My kids. Oh, no, I cried during sad movies. I cried during that. Um, but it was brought me back to memory. So I definitely was. I definitely have shot through here before. I couldn't remember. And anyways, trying to think what else happened. You know, they had like the album. They were doing a song for that "Too Hot for Love" or whatever it was. And that song came out. I made a copy of that through cassette on Friday nights. I transferred to another cassette. It was okay. It wasn't anything earth shattering. You know, but I mean, it got you point A to point B, and just say consider me like give your the bus driver a tip today. Because they don't ask you for it ever. So that's about it. I thought the dirt was quite good on Netflix. What was it? 46 minutes? Wow, 48 minutes already. Yeah, it's a good show. I liked it. I think it's very informative. And then the way, like I said, the way they ended the show, when they had clips from the show, and then they had like clip next that, and then the second one was a bowl of chocolate soup with a thing cracked shavings with it. It's not bad. So I guess I guess that's about it. I don't have much more to say about the guy. You know, yeah. Oh, it's glowing. Okay, cool. Um, why? I think that book. I think there was a thing where Nikki Six enjoyed going off with Regis. You know, and then we just went through the just here's the movie, but I thought the movies were very well done, and not half cooked. You know, but the movie's actually quite good. It's very entertaining. And there's cursing. Oh, and also, I've got to say, like Pete Davidson was in it right at the beginning, and it was like there's a little bit of foreshadowing twice. With that foreshadowing, like the critics weren't too kind to the movie, right? And I remember, like, I think I don't know, they got rid of that collection to redo it or something so they can sell their own movies. I don't know, but those tapes aren't there anymore. And I don't know. There's a thing. I guess you can lay on the ground if you want. I mean, you put the ground over the matrix carpet stuff. It's fine. And yeah, I hope you like this video, buddy. Until next time, please take care, my legions, and take care. And then, like I said, like, oh, I care what happens. I care what happens. Like say, well, I care too, and I don't miss. So that's kind of funny too. Um, so that's it. That's my review of The Wire, the book. I watched a little teeny tiny bit of the original Start It All, and Jeff Tremaine edited it. But I mean, I like film like, oh yeah. Mm. But I mean, it was just like a big hog and nuts thing, And then a teacher, like, sometimes they go up and pat you on the back, and then he puts sign on you. You know, that's just weird. But I found out about it, and I just threw it in the trash, and I didn't hear anything else from that person ever since. You know, that's where it goes. Where's that one? Okay, I did get kicked off. Good. Um, so that's it. I give the Dirt a 9 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was very entertaining. Not quite a perfect, perfect, perfect one. It's not nowhere near as good as that California Dreaming uh, video, or a music video or movie that you have to see. Now they still show if you go to the movie theater Armed Forces Network on Post. There is a big giant plaza where they have like the shop at. They have the PX, of course. That's the main thing. The shop at you get like is like a little mini grocery store type thing. You get little odds and ends. You know, I would always get like Vienna sausage, which I like very much. And there's a movie theater at the very end. There's a movie theater there, which is a good thing because we are in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was video rentals and that's it. Or programming on AFN if you're able to get really good. But it was like, I don't know, peeing right now. I liked the movie a lot. But like I said, sometimes movies can be a slog to get through. This one wasn't. Like I said, they're comparing like music videos and footage and stuff. The old with the real people and the actors. One thing I liked, they had a guy who played Tommy Lee go to his trailer and says, the lawyer said, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And go to the trailer, then all of a sudden you see Tommy Lee pop out and he said, "Hey, what's up, dude?" Which I thought was funny. It all looked like they gained some weight, the real people, especially Vince Neil. Let's see. Let me do that some mute real quick. This live's going a lot better than the other one. But it was a very fun biopic. I think the last biopic I saw, I could be mistaken, was maybe I am mistaken. Maybe it was that maybe I don't maybe I see something after that, but that Bohemian Rhapsody about Queen, I had to see that. That was essential viewing at the theater. That's back when we used to go to theaters a lot of times before COVID ruined everything. That was a great movie to see in the theater. Wonderful movie. But that's it. I think that's all I have to say about the Dirt. Like I said, I was thrown off. People said it was a bullshit movie and stuff, and I was thrown off. And I finally watched it. I'm glad I did. I liked the movie, you know. And it might bring back some restored interest in Motley Crue, at least a couple of albums. I really haven't heard the last thing was I really haven't heard any Motley Crue stuff in a long time, you know. I don't know if any of the song they did after Feel Good stuff was good or not. I don't know. You know, I have no idea. But I mean, it's on Netflix right now. It's quite good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. Um, and that's my review of The Dirt, the Motley Crue biopic, along with my personal history about Motley Crue as well. And oh, and like I said, like they were kicked off of TV. I remember seeing. I was like something weird. I remember taping it. I think I don't know why the hell I taped it though. It was like a live. Maybe it was someone I didn't want to miss. There was some live star on there. We watched. Dad wanted to watch the ball drop through ABC, so we were out there, taped it, and it was like some big concert thing. They had Motley Crue on there, and Vince Neil was hanging off something. Said he goes, "Hey, happy fucking New Year, Tommy!" On live TV. They banned him for life, and then like a year later, NBC wanted Tommy Lee back for like that. Tommy Lee goes to college reality show type thing. So that's what happened. But no, I liked it. I thought it was quite good. And I don't know. I haven't heard anything recently from Motley Crue. I don't know if they're still good or not. I don't know. Um, I really like the Dirt. So, like I said, I hope you like video, buddy. Thank everybody in chat for participating. So, I hope you like video, buddy. Till next time, please. Take care, of Legion. A few more minutes. Let me go 52 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you like this video, buddy. I thought I'd go. Yeah. Once you get off, you gotta get back around the saddle again. Okay. All right. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Good night, everybody.